we hop into game 3, match point for Magic. And what will he be whipping out? Of course, there's got to be Ottomans for Kawasan. Numudan, did he learn anything from game 2? Any Chinese lessons he can take forward?
Well, he is going to have to learn from the previous games, and it starts by being able to hit the eco. Magic has been very quick with the reactions in game number 1 to pull away the villagers from raids. Game number 2, very calm and collected, very cautious about using his villagers to build on the front line. He has made Numudan's job very difficult when it comes to killing eco. That has to change from Numudan if he wants a shot at this series.
And I'm checking these openings straight away. It's going to be one dock on one dock, and Magic is getting those free spearmen via the military school, but he's not adding in a Rax by the looks of it. He's just going to go for the faster tech up. Now, the opening that would have favored him here then would have been to, like, for Numudan to go double dock. Instead, he's contesting only one lake, and look at what Magic's already done. He's on the other lake already.
Yeah, that's concerning. Especially, is that a spearman? I think that's a spearman. That dock isn't going up.
You get spearmen for free. So like this guys, it's the villager, right?
Yeah, that's a vill. That's what I was asking about. Like you have a spear out already for Magic, but that's a vill.
Even a spearman wouldn't stop this though. It's Chinese build speed, right? But like those spearmen are for free. Like it's not like he built a rack to do this. He just had them because you start the military school.
Yeah, means that he can start torching them down immediately. Galley on the way, of course, already for Numudan, given that this is Empire Wars, so he can just pop out some combat ships. Speaking of combat ships, not any combat ships on the field just yet for Magic.
No, he shouldn't contest this because he knows what the follow-up step is. It's going to be a play into the Naval arrow slits. In fact, Numudan just pulled the villagers to stone now. That's the whole point of the placement of this dock. But even if he secures this, like as long as you hold on to this other lake, you're fine. Weird part, actually, for me, is like Magic didn't build a galley on the other lake. Like that's a logical play from this position to try and block out the dock drop you know should be happening. But no, nothing. And Numudan even knows it, right? Like this scout is getting vital info. He's like, okay, there's no aggression at all.
Yeah, for now it's only spears. Looks like Magic will contest both pawns, it seems. He's got a galley and a hawk queued up. It's not like he's investing much into land-based armies, so it makes sense for him to contest these spawns. Because, especially with the Chinese, you rely so heavily on that fishing eco to give you that eco boost.
Well, this is a cool kind of logic here from Magic. It's like he's going to try and force more investment on this lake so that then he can very passively burn down the dock on the other lake. It's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure that's how this plays out. Like, he's forced to build the archer ship finally. Numudan's going to get his out on that lake as well. Demo's going to come in. Not enough to kill, though. Fishing boats trying to keep things up, but now that injured, Scream should be able to clean this up. Demo in return, however, and one archer ship is what? Scammed. Scammed. Right now, phone your bank. Something's not right there. Demos are going to connect the other way, though. Numudan able to now hold this hostage. I cannot believe that Springwood ship did not get clipped.
Oh, that is just bad for Magic, losing that pond. Essentially, you see there's a demo camping down any newly spawned ships. There is still some presence maintained here by Magic on the other pond, but this one to the north, this shouldn't give him much of a success. Thou might actually get the kill on the demo, jukes the second shot. Numudan keeping that one demo ship alive.
I mean, that feels even worse, because like you don't even... I feel like you don't even want to be attacking the demo in the first place, because you kill it next to the dock and you just get burnt anyway. But now that's even worse. Like, you didn't kill it. It stays here holding you hostage longer. I think Magic just needed to, like, cut his losses and just take this lake. Because now he's starting to lose both.
Yeah. And the alarming thing here for Magic, KP, is that it's not like he's got anything going for him on land. This is a nice demo hit. Actually sinks that war junk. Might actually be able to secure the spawn, though.
Yeah, it's the passive spearmen. They're actually coming now. That's enough of a window because Numudan stopped producing. It looked like he had a little bit of a gap in the wood income, so won't be able to get an additional ship out. With this many spears, if you do produce an archer ship, for example, it's not going to have the protection of the dock anymore.
Yeah, that demo was just so big. Sinking that war junk means that now there is no one protecting this dock, so At the very least, Magic can say that he secured one of the 2 pawns, and he's still, yeah, he's no longer contesting the northern one, so it's going to be one apiece.
And it's going to be a double TC play. Numudan actually played into land here, so Magic needs a conversion point, and that's a lot of stone just being gathered. He's either mismacroed or he's planning a second TC of his own.
Yeah, it's still challenging against the Chinese, though. We're entering a stage where you just want to eco boom in a very similar fashion than what we have seen in the previous game on King of the Hill. But this time around, Numudan is the Chinese player. He's going to have a massive lead when it comes to economy.
And Magic, like another thing, by the way, I noticed that when we glanced at the backside, did he place a second blacksmith in a weird spot? There's no way it naturally spawned there. Like at the back of his base. Oh, wow. What? Bruh. What? That's a natural spawn that happened. That wasn't he chose that. I thought that was a second blacksmith. I cannot believe that. Okay, that's Empire Wars, ladies and gents. Almonds does feel like a coin flip sometimes.
Yeah, he does have some spearmen harassing these villagers here, but not much is accomplished as Numudan is going to start heading up to Castle Age. Magic, not far behind, but with the Ottomans, this is not what you want. This is not where you want to be. The game just felt so flat so far for Magic. Really, you didn't see that military aspect of the Ottomans so far.
No, like he has one lake, but if he just actually played for one lake after he saw the opening, I think he could have been castling at the same time. Just a little kind of thing while we've got a calming moment for a sec. I made a suggestion to the devs that I know isn't easy to implement, but I actually think is what would take Empire Wars to a new competitive level and would fix what we just saw with that blacksmiths. I'm of the opinion that the first minute in Empire Wars should be like building placement. You should be able to replace your buildings, move them around quickly in a starting area. I think that's a cool strategic layer that would fix a lot of these issues, and it would also add a lot of flavor to the openings of the game.
Interesting idea. We'll have to see if this ever gets implemented. For the time being, Magic is now leveraging those free units, but problem is that he's facing Palace Guards. He's got absolutely nothing against Palace Guards, and he's just now going to start going up to Castle Age.
Yeah, and in a lot of matchups, like the Mass Sipahi is really good because you raid villagers, but like you're up against Palace Guard, right? Like Palace Guard can raid as well, and they can last a lot longer. So initial clash is going to come out. The good news for Magic is this is containing Numudan in his base, as the alternative is that he's diving your eco as you upgrade, right? So Mehmed is going to be unharassed. That's the positive. The negative is Numudan is taking a long-term investment here. He's actually dropping the Barbican in the center of the map.
Yeah, he has been in Tang Dynasty so far. Decided not to go up to Song. Instead, go Castle Age straight away and now drop the Barbican in the middle to unlock Song Dynasty. Also means that this 17 eco lead that he built, that was without Song Dynasty. That's just pure 2 DCs. This could have been even bigger if he went for Song Dynasty sooner.
I mean, I think he's got more fishing going on as part of the reason as well. Yep. Like Magic, he could build more fishing. He would benefit from it, I think. But the problem is now that you complete your tech up, you actually need wood for land, right? You need it for more military schools. You need it for maybe for new blacksmiths here. So it's kind of one of those annoying things, the Ottomans. Yes, it's a benefit down the line, but it kind of feels like a burden in this situation.
Oh, Palace Guards now on the Stone Miners here. Stone Miners, they have managed to collect 400 stones, so there is at least enough for some military schools by Magic, but if he wanted to go for a keep, and I think he might have been thinking about it, that's going to be problematic.
Yeah, this is definitely a keep drop, because he still has stone safe at the back of his base, and he has more than enough in the military schools, so he was trying to stabilize with a keep drop play. Problem is, like, this map is so open. This is why I said Sipahi are a really good unit on this map. It's like, it feels very hard to wall yourself in. Like, for Numudan, he played towards the corner. I actually think his spawn was better for turtling, by the way. Like, it's kind of weird, but it feels like the way this played out, it's more easily retracted. But the downside is, like, Numudan has no resources in his back corner, right? So, like, that TC play could have easily backfired if he couldn't get out.
Yeah, Palace Guards now increasing in numbers. 18 of them on the field already. Crossbows making an appearance, though, for Magic. Obviously, we've seen this a lot of times, KP. Ottomans falling behind an eco, and then later on they just start leveraging those military schools. You still need to be cautious if you're Numudan, but you have a good opportunity here to even overwhelm these crossbows.
But yeah, this is the problem. You don't have the mass yet, and the Palace Guard are one of the best units that gets countered by these crossbows at running them down. And they get on top of you like this, it can be a bit of a pickle. But great micro by Magic, just separating the groups and reinforcing. Now, something that Magic is missing as a big factor, actually, but it's easy to forget when you get this deep into the build. He hasn't built a meta yet, so he's missing out on either attack speed or armor. It could be a deal breaker here.
It certainly could be. Not a single meta out there for him. He's also missing out on relics. Numudan is the one collecting relics. The first time in this series that he's going to have the relic lead.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to try and go for relics for your Magic, which is unfortunate.
Absolutely
like your
not.
positions. I mean, it's Palace Guard, right? Like, anyone who's ever tried to gather relics against Palace Guard knows what I'm about to say. Don't. Just don't.
Yeah, at this point, IamMagic is just busy not dying.
Now, there's a part he could actually go on the flanks and just, like, address the relic gathering. He has also got the boat here to kind of block that. So I think, like, 3 relics should be really all this feasible. And in fact, Magic has found his way out now to start picking up relics. It's a good timing because look at the crossbow count. Like, he has 21. He has addressed this. One thing I'm not a fan of is the fact that he opened with a mango when you know that Nesta Bees is a possibility.
Army number is looking better for Magic now. He's down by 24 eco and also relic. But he's now really getting that power from the Ottoman free units. I think he's stabilizing now, and I'm starting to feel concerned for Numudan here, KP.
Yeah, because it's one of those things like you have to consider the value of production. Like, was it 120 resources a minute or 100 resources a minute? So like that's 2.5 or 3 villages per military school. So it makes up a decent amount of the dent. Obviously, Chinese do get the supervision, so it inflates it further. But the point is, like, you're able to actively immediately turn that free production into military force, whereas for the Chinese, they have to take the extra economy and then build something with it. Just like, it's kind of like you skip a step. It's why Ottomans have these weird kind of PowerPoints that made them a hard civ to understand at first, and then a civ that got decreed completely and utterly overpowered.
Yeah, and STV is getting some good hits on many of these crossbows. No Imam on the back line to heal, and still no matter. That's the big thing here, KP. You mentioned this. When it comes to the resource efficiency of the stronger eco versus the free military units, you kind of get something even-ish. But that's where the matter comes into play to swing this in the favor of the Ottomans. A matter that's just missing from the field.
This is kind of like it's like when you skip Wheelbarrow and forget about it. I think that's kind of what's happened here. Like, there's no real reason to not build a meta. There's nothing that's instantly going to snipe him out, right? So you're just kind of playing Ottomans on hard mode, really, at the stage. Like, you don't have the Imam heal, which is more understandable. But to not have that move speed, that attack speed, it's a completely whiffed opportunity here.
It's so puzzling. Oh, Village is getting massacred.
Oh,
that is bad.
Hey.
Magic.
LidaKor,
this is the first game in this series where he loses more than 5 villagers.
Look at the positive, though. It did remind him that he needed to get that Springwood replacement. It's a pricey Springwood replacement, but it is at least going up. So that'll be a little bit frustrating on the fishing. That'll slow down Numudan's economy a little bit. More crossbows. Do find a bunch of Palace Guard. A little bit wanting here. They need to kill that ram. That ram needs to go. You have to just commit everything here. I think there was an attempted raid by Numudan on the opposite side of the map, but... Oh, wait, that's the wall attempt, isn't it? Oh, he got blocked.
Magic spotting those walls coming up, and Numudan wasn't really able to pay attention everywhere. His villagers on the other wall, they got picked apart by a war chunk. These villagers, they haven't yet realized that the walls are being blocked and they are about to be slain by men-at-arms. Magic is doing a great job just stretching out the attention of Numudan here.
Oh, man. He stopped the wall on the west side as well, so he blocks both of them. Check the worker count now.
Yep.
Look what's happening. Magic's actually starting to butcher. And this was the nightmare Numudan was trying to avoid. Like, the Palace Guard flood hasn't really worked. He stopped it. So he actually wants a condensed fight. Had he kept spamming them, he's happy for the map to be open. But now he needs it contained. Otherwise, Magic is going to do to him what Numudan should have done in the first place. It's the MAA spam.
Yeah, man-at-arms number is now increasing for Magic, and suddenly you look at the army count, it's 88 compared to 40. Some of that is even in the form of ships here for Numudan. He's facing 50 crossbows and 20 men-at-arms.
It's incredible that Magic's still able to afford it. I don't know if it's going to be long-term affordable now with a lot of the fishing boats going down, but brilliant opportunity here. You know, I think that block on the wall, I mean, it was a V. And clearly it's a V for victory because Magic right now with double the military, he gets to take whatever he wants. Numudan has to give over ground. And right now he's left his siege unguarded here. Men-at-Arms not able to gap close. They should be able to get the Treb if they focus fire. But Nesta Bees have to ruin the fight, don't they?
Yeah, Nest of Bees will just repel this, but here's the reinforcing army. Beautiful volleys from the Nest of Bees, though, on the crossbows. Many of them have been damaged from a previous battle, never healed up. So, as much as you have the numbers here for Magic, a lot of these units are heavily damaged.
Dude, the real Giga Chad in that fight was that Men-at-Arms. He shouldn't have got that. He actually got the Trebuchet in the end, which is really important because it allows Magic to park here with the keep still. And that keep is no joke. It is denying a lot of fishing for Numudan. Numudan might be forced to make a full farm transition soon. And that's a weak point to worry about. Now the clash comes in. Nesta Bees getting a good strike here. Magic, man. I'm surprised how often he's not forming into stagger, right? Like, he's very good at this. We've seen it so far in the series, but so far, definitely feeling the sting of the bees.
He still does not have a single matter, KP. He doesn't have the imams. I'm actually wondering where all those Vizier points went.
I'd be curious myself as well, but apparently Magic's playing on hard mode. This rate, I wouldn't be surprised if we checked the normal UI and he had like 6 Vizier points just sitting there. He's like, I wanted to make it interesting, guys. So keep drop behind the Barbican falling. Problem is, this could actually be sniped as it goes up. And yeah, that's double trap moving forward. I do see a glow. Did we just get a map cut? No. Yeah, there we go. Drama Boy's here now. And you haven't built the keep. I mean, China's fast, but they're not that fast.
And Numudan doesn't have a big stone bank. He cannot sustain repairing this against a lot of firepower.
I mean, his Nesta Bees are not getting optimal shots here. Spirals are at least being counted out, so it's not easy for Magic to keep pushing in. Hail Mary shot to the backside does clip the villagers, but keep's going to go up. That's going to force a keep out from Magic now. But the meta's here, right? Like, Magic's been winning these fights without the aura. This doesn't bode well for Numudan.
Yeah, still a lot of those crossbows are heavily damaged here. Springald's creeping up. Might actually get a good angle on that Trebuchet. Looks like the Treb is going to get away.
And the Springals, like, they're kind of baiting this, right? They've got the attack speed aura as well, so if you're in even numbers, yes, you've got the extra health, but I do kind of favor the Ottomans there, just because that second pound, right, can actually just GG you out. So Keep is going to go up. I really thought Numudan was going to use a salvo of the Nesta Beast there to kill those 5 villagers. Maybe he thought there was more behind it.
Yeah, he wants to go into Imperial here, though. Let's see. Could try getting the gatehouse going. But might just be Spirit Way all the way back home. But he's going to go Imperial, essentially at the same time what Magic does.
Magic's going first. Like, I mean, I looked across as you said that, and like the bank this man has got out of nowhere. We call Magic for a reason. He's clearly got a magical hat. It's going to be a big deal. Not best placement, but it should be safe back there. Now, someone to keep in mind is this isn't a matchup where Chinese just win siege anymore, right? Like, Ottomans are a different beast. Great Bombards are a different beast. That's something that Numudan's going to have to address. And right now, he doesn't have a clear answer.
He's still not imping, KP. He has 3,000 food, 5,000 gold banked up, not doing anything with it right now. Okay, there it is.
Honestly, okay, there we go. Honestly, it felt like for a moment he's just sitting there like hovering over like, do I want the Spirit Way or the Great Spirit Way? Great. And he's going to go with the Great House. So it has its perks, but like it's not in a great position to leverage that. It's going to protect his flank, but like kind of feels like a situation where you want that edge of Spirit Way for the opportunity to get into some like, you know, a few Chugi news just to buff heal everyone.
He's desperate for gold though. He's got a huge bag, but he's got one small gold mine to work with. Both of those gold mines on the flanks, those would be under the control of Magic if it wasn't for the Great Wall Gatehouse.
And look at the villagers going down as he's trying to wall up there. That's actually quite a few dying there. That does matter because, you know, for a long time, Chinese have kept this 20+ eco lead. Check that number at the top now. It's completely diminished.
Yeah, it's gone. And you see, Magic does have this large gold mine on this side. On the other side, for now, the gold is there for Numudan, but the middle large gold, that's also for Magic to take.
Oh, Magic hasn't switched to Great Bombards, by the way. I hope that's just because he's halfway through a Springald. Like, Great Bombard's are the GG player, right? That's your strongest arm. That's your strongest hand. Yeah, so it's just... He's popped. Fight time, Magic? I think it's fight time, because that... I don't want to see that. Not from an Imp Auto.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting for the tech to come in, and then he's going to take a fight so he can free up some pop space.
He's winning this initial like poke back and forth, right? Because I think shot trigger isn't there for either side, but it's coming through for Magic. Fast continues, Springald count. Still there for Magic at the moment, but there's the cluster 5 from those Nest of Bees. Not much of a front line though. And that meta, look at the charge, and I love that. He peels it off, gets in there with the attack speed to make sure that he can kill the siege.
And nice body blocks
like,
by
Numudan.
Numudan.
He's keeping it alive. Springald will get out. Crossbow's now moving in. Okay, this is starting to not prove worthwhile. Now, keep in mind, Magic, he was popped, right? So you need to throw away an army to get your passive production, but I think he threw away a little bit too much here.
Yeah, that's the definition of throwing away an army if I've ever seen one. Repeatedly in this game, he's getting his crossbows massacred by the Nest of Bees.
He's playing like that sport kid in the club. He's like, okay, put it on daddy's credit card, right? Like, because he's not paying for most of it, it's kind of, whatever, right? Just throw it away, get some new stuff. Now, a lot of negatives to that fight for Magic. Positive is Great Bombards are now getting queued. They can potentially appear. And that's something that really changes the dynamics of these engagements. Like, that's where Nest of Bees could actually just lose to Great Bombards. That's where Springalds can lose to Great Bombards, unless you have, like, 4 of them.
I love that one Spearman from Magic running up hills. It's like a Feudal Age upgraded Spearman. And he just said, okay, guys, I'm going to take this hill here.
It belongs to me now. Go find my 3 brothers.
Yeah.
Because he has actually...
He's chilling with the Lancers.
Well, the problem with this is he's raiding the wrong side of the map. If he actually came in on the other side, like, I'd love to see a transpo ship on the South Lake from Magic. Because all of the granaries, all the farms are on that left side.
Yeah, that's a great call. Like, there's definitely this mindset of him trying to get into some raids. He's sent in a group of knights to the north, but those got spotted and kind of heavily damaged by the Great Wall Gatehouse. As you said, the pawn to the south is under his control. He could easily transport a bunch of Lancers across and hit the heart of Numudan's food eco.
Ooh, that's kind of gruesome. Look at all the upgrades coming through. He just achieved Yuan, so he's got the extra movement speed now, able to finesse. On top of that, I believe he went into Elite Army Tactics. I think they just completed here. I don't know if Magic grabbed that. I haven't seen it so far. It would make sense that he doesn't have it, considering he's only now going into Incendiary, and more of his army is ranged, right? So, yeah, no, that's a big problem in this fight. This should be a one-sided affair. He's getting the trade-outs, though. Shot Trigger, I don't think is still there for Numudan, so he's just lost all the siege. He's about to lose the keep. And Magic, his front line is dying fast, yes, but the back line is getting boosted up. In about, I think, 45 seconds, they're going to have that upgrade. They just need to stalemate this fight a bit longer.
Yeah, Nest of Bees are still out there to repel this assault for the time being, but keep heavily damaged over here. Villagers being pulled to repair. Numudan might be able to keep this alive because the trap was pulled all the way to the back.
The repair, though, like, it's costing him dearly, right? Like, yes, he's got 2k stone in reserve, but this is the limited resource as the game goes on. It's frustrating that you're not able to shut this play down. It's just been one treb this whole time. And remember, he's idling out several villages at the same time. So it's been worthwhile, the follow-up here for Magic. And although the destroyed value still tells a tale of, like, Numudan dominating, I have to keep emphasizing, like, one side is not paying for a decent chunk of these units. The other is always paying.
Yeah, this has to be the end of this keep, though. Great Bombard creeping up. Nest of Bees have been pushed away by the Springolds.
Can we talk about those
no
trees?
siege available for Numudan now.
Like, what is that tree line, and how is that in there right now? This is like one of those ambush emplacements, right, where someone covers a giant cannon in like foliage, and you just run into it. What? Oh man, I honestly, I don't guess the villagers don't have anywhere to be, anywhere to go, but like, this is a futile repair. You just spent like 400 stone. You did delay it, but I'm not sure what this was meant to delay for. Like, hand cannoneers are being built, yes. But attack speed crossbows, incendiary. I'm pretty sure Numudan doesn't have gunpowder yet.
Yeah, the issue here for Numudan is that as good as Palace Guards and hand cannoneers will be, the cost efficiency is not on their side, especially not for the hand cannoneers. Crossbows
Okay, he's
take
got
good
gunpowder.
fights against hand cannoneers. Cost-effective fights those are.
Okay, in fairness to him, he does have gunpowder here, so that's actually a positive. I like that he actually got that ahead of time. I just didn't know it, so I forgot Numudan is filthy, stinking, freaking rich. But a lot more springles coming out. This exchange should be one where Numudan is able to hold, and it can't emphasize enough, like, he has to hold here. Like, behind this is his whole economy.
Yeah. There's a switch coming in from Magic, though. He's switching into Cavalry with Biology on the way. And there's just nothing that really stops Cavalry over here from Numudan.
Reform here. Like, Numudan's holding, right? But you have to feel like there's got to be a counteroffensive, right? You've got a lot of Palace Guard. I think you have to look for that flood point now.
Yeah, like when you look at Numudan, one of the things I'm missing very badly is Springles. Like, he's got some Springles, but you see, not all of them are clock towers anymore. Some of those are, some of them aren't. He's getting pushed back by the Springles of the Ottomans here. Means that he cannot get a confident position that he can use to bombard those castles down.
Great Bombards are starting to be a little bit exposed here, though, but so quick to wheel away. Wait, what, we're going? We're going. All right, we're going.
We
I
going.
don't know where we're going. Are we just trying to run Palace Guard over now? I didn't realize that was a feature. Oh, okay, that hurts. Right in the kidney.
Magic feels like he's a little overzealous with this army. He's got basically no front line. It's mass Springles and 2 great Bombards. I don't see any infantry, barely any cavalry. Might have overstayed his welcome there.
And now he's got nothing to defend here. Like, it's just a flood through, right? This is what I was waiting for. This is a Yuan Palace Guard. They sting hard. So much siege, nothing to protect it. And that's a reset that's really going to slow Magic down in this game. Now, he has got the keeps to just keep this contained still, right? But this was like the first time in several minutes Numudan has started to kind of push out. It's a critical point.
Yeah, certainly. This is still in the middle of a cavalry switch for Magic. You now see the Sipahi appear on the playing field. But this was definitely the most underwhelming fight that Magic had in this game so far.
Still, at the end of the day, like, look at the drain. It's hit both sides pretty hard. Numudan has got a sizable army, but half of it is siege. So now you're at risk of the opposite, the other way, because Sipahi are coming out now, and you don't really have a front line to hold. And your front line is gunpowder units. They can kill cavalry, yes, but they can also get countered and die, and that's a heavy loss to lose. But Magic, he's a very big fan of the focus fire here. Just click and look away. Sipahi, oh, they'll be able to get the bombards, so still worthwhile, actually.
Yeah, the first day of Sipahi pushed the siege back, and now crossbows are doing a decent job cleaning up those palace guards. Hand cannoneers still alive, though. Magic is still kind of trickling these units, KP. He's at 27 military population. Feels like... Oh, wait a second. This is all just a diversion.
What? Okay, I was getting worried. No meta on the front line, right? He wasn't actually efficient because of that. If he had the meta there, he would have gotten a really good trade. Numudan is in the middle of a Fire Lancer transition right next to this.
Holy smokes.
No. No, man.
Oh, my lord. There goes all the villagers. What an absolute madness we're witnessing here, KP. A gigantic landing. This is why Magic was just sending wave after wave of units in the middle. He wanted to distract Numudan. He wanted to make sure he does not spot that massive landing we had. But boy, oh boy, was it spotted by the Fire Lancers. Numudan, though, I think he's out of gold.
And that's what makes this kind of like a weird all-in gambit. Like, you have one punch with this. Fire Lancer's not cheap anymore, but man, Keep Master just got kind of blasted here. That was disgusting the way that played out. Just a few Fire Lancers. Reminds you they're more than just a landmark sniper, but that should be the long-term goal here. I think also the fact is that even though Magic lost a lot there, knowing that Fire Lancers are coming means he's probably going to be a little less reliant on siege. And if he has a stronger front line, Fire Lancers suck at actually fighting. Anything that fights back beats the crap out of them.
Yeah, Janissaries will be mixed in now. Now, against Fire Lancers, you want to make sure you have a front line of some sort, but Janissaries should be very cost-effective against them.
Now, looking at remaining gold, you know what I see? One.
Yeah,
One
the one
to
in the
rule
middle.
them all. The one that's guarded by two great bombard keeps.
Yeah.
Numudan
Numudan
does
is
have
setting
back.
trade up, and he still has a gold bank, though. So he's fine
Yes.
for the time being, and he's not really consuming a lot of gold. So if he buys himself some time over here to set up the trade, he's got to be more than happy. Trade coming in for Magic as well. Big fight in the middle. Once again, numbers aren't really exceptional here for Magic.
It's okay. He has keeps. Honestly, they are actually saving him. Those fat-ass balls being slapped into the face of the palace guards is just... Oh. You just want to dive, right? You've got you on. You're like, come on, man. There's no walls. I should be able to go, right? But you know, by the time you get on the other side, you're going to have lost half of your military. Oh, man.
Important thing to note, despite Numudan picking up most of the initial relics, at one point he lost the monastery, and he hasn't rebuilt it. Both players are sitting on one relic.
Yeah. Wait, what? And they're not noticing.
Yeah, Numudan doesn't notice this. It was Numudan with like at least 3 relics, possibly even 4. He probably lost the monastery and never rebuilt it.
Yeah, that's actually quite a big deal. Like, yes, trade will eventually cover you, but that could have been your edge, because if your opponent's going to trade as well, it kind of like turns into a net neutral. I've got a feeling this game's going to go on for quite a while, folks. Like, this is... you just don't have the resources to go full Fire Lancer Divide. And check these walls from Magic, just restricting the limited access further.
Yeah, walls, they are needed now because you don't want those Fire Lancers sneaking past. Even with the Castle Fire out there, a group of Fire Lancers sneaking past can do so much damage in the eco. But Magic, I keep repeating myself here, but he needs to group up his units a little more. I think he's trickling units a little too much, and he keeps losing these small groups of units.
I mean, it's weird because I think Magic's just defaulted to this full macro game, but it's like the macro dead brain game is like a weird strategy to engage with against the Chinese, right? They're one of the best civs at doing exactly that, and that's something that Magic knows too well. The problem is also behind this, like there's a lot of hand cannons building up, and you don't have a clean answer, right? You've got Janissaries, but they don't really compare, especially when you then add in pyrotechnics on top of that.
Yeah, that Barbican has been under fire ever since I can remember, to be honest. Like, it keeps getting repaired by a dozen villagers for the last 5 minutes.
It's just like your origin story. It's like, I remember when I was 5 years old and I could hear the great bombards outside. That was 20 years ago. It never stopped. Man, this Sipahi are just distracting. They're buying a lot of time, in fairness. It's probably the easiest unit that Magic can just infinitely push, and it's the thing that can get there fastest. And in fairness, behind this, like, he is starting to scale his own Janissary force. Well, you know, I did say that the hand cannons the Chinese should be better, but it's like, it kind of becomes an even playing field when you compare one side has great bombards and the other have pyrotechnics hand cannoneers.
And it's, of course, the matter as well. That's a big factor for Magic, and he finally has some matter to work with. Only 3 of them on the field could still be sniped, but he's finally leveraging that attack buff that has been missing for the first half of the game.
Yeah, it's so often it's been missing. I love the fact that he did go up to 3 metas. We've even seen some players go up to like 5 or 7. Wouldn't blame him, actually, considering how quickly one of them can die against this comp. And Sacred Sites now starting to be accessed. Like, imagine if Magic just sends like 2 rams across the Great Wall Gatehouse, right? And starts deleting that. That'll split the map in a way that Numudan doesn't want to play this. Well, trying to wrap around here under the Janissaries. They stand their ground, though. I mean, these great bombards are still not being addressed. If Numudan doesn't take them down soon, I don't see how he ever gets through.
Military population looking better and better for Magic, worse and worse for Numudan. The last 6 or 7 minutes, Numudan had a massive numbers advantage on the army department. That's no longer the case. I feel like Magic has gotten himself the momentum he needs. He's now pop-capped, and he's once again pushing.
Look at the supply count as well. Like, getting close to 20, this is a critical mass point because it lets you stop the hand cannoneers from treating. If the hand cannoneers can't maintain that range, they lose the one advantage they're going to have. They'll get overwhelmed. So, Numudan IDs it, backs up a little bit. This Barbican, you know, it hasn't really been adding that much damage, in my opinion. It's been more about the vision being maintained. But so many villagers have been expended to keep that dream alive. Now going to force a retreat. Almost torching it down. Holds in the choke point. As the Sipahi do show up. Finally, that pesky, bloody Barbican is gone. What was... Wait, was that the keep? Bro, Kobe, like he just Kobe from downtown there. That was more than 10.
No, I think it had to be a great bombard.
It had to be, right? Like, but it curved. It came from the south, LidaKor. Like, this guy is doing some weird split shot curve shots or something to me. I don't know what's going on anymore. This is bombards.
Oh, there's a push through to the south as well. Rams pushing through, cavalry out there. And Magic wants to keep at the top of the hill.
Let me have it. Let me at him. Let me at him. He's going to find the trade. Rewall's going to come in. Now, of course, there can't be any counter-assault because he hasn't diverted siege down there. It's getting so messy, right? Like, Numudan, look at his economy. I don't think he's in control of this game at all. Yeah, Magic has a smaller overall bank. I'm just looking at gold. Gold is the most important element here. Numudan is spending a lot more of it.
Yeah, that's where the free units come into play. All those great bombards coming out from the armory, those are free for Magic. Numudan has to pay for all of these expensive siege units.
And this is vile what Magic's trying to do. He's genuinely trying to crawl up with bombard emplacements in those towers. With bombards staring him down. It's a bold move.
I think it speaks for itself that in this game we had 110,000 resources destroyed for Numudan, 69,000 for Magic. It is awfully inefficient for Magic, yet he's still very much in this game because there are so many things that are just not coming together for Numudan. Relics still haven't been re-garrisoned, and he's desperate for gold.
Well, can we check that? Because it might be pagodas, right? Like, that's something the Chinese have. So it's possible it's just a UI issue, because I don't think it registers pagodas. So if we check Numudan's base,
that
see if he's
could be it, but
relics.
For his sake, I hope it is.
It must be, right? I mean, this is like, I don't know when it would have been sniped, because it wasn't on the front line. Yeah,
okay,
so
there they are.
It's pagoda play. Okay, there we go.
Okay, all sins forgiven.
That's at least that.
At least now we know that the UI doesn't show pagodas.
That's true. But even with that, in his economy, it's like Istanbul, the pre-production speed, and now the mass Sipahi! Oh dear god, they're getting in as well. Back on the siege, bombards being targeted down. This isn't the Janissaries, they're just cleaning up everything behind them, and these boys are so tanky. Biology clearly getting his buck and 50 worth of value. Well, most of the siege stays alive, but guess what, folks? Back towards the Great Bombards we go.
Yeah, like, you see, Magic is able to creep forward a little off the back of these individual fights, but what he's doing is so inefficient that he cannot sustain that for a long time. So he's always getting repelled in the end. Now, once again, he's diving in with the Sipahi. Might actually get most of the siege here.
Yeah, the fight split up too much this time. The Sipahi should be able to actually get at least the Springolds. Bombard's going to live to tell tale, but just needs to target them down, man. I feel like he's still just on an A-click command here. Oh, man. We're never getting out of this game, are we?
No, never. Walls have been rebuilt to the south. North has been virtually uncontested. And now Magic is starting to have gold issues, KP. He has some trades set up, but it's nothing spectacular.
Oh, right. He's like that uncle that says magic and then shows you a gold coin behind your ear. Then you later find out it's just painted gold. It's a lie. He's been faking his economy until he makes it. That's problematic, actually, considering those Janissaries aren't exactly cheap. He's also starting to lose control of the sacred sites.
I mean, honestly, sacred sites could become a win condition at some point. Players just securing it, just to divert away attention from these battles in the middle.
He's so fixated on the siege units, and he's never reaching them. Or he reaches them. In fairness, like, one Sipahi dragging the attention of that much art. Oh my god, he just left his army! Oh, this is an absolute crap show. I think there's no way he's out of wood, right? Can we check Numudan's back lines? Because, like, this suggests where he's just positioned all those woodworkers that he has nothing left behind us. I could kind of believe it, though. Like, okay, a few straggler trees. Like, he has got 6k in reserve, but you know, let's be totally real, guys. I hope no one's got anywhere to be, because we could be here for another 30 minutes. And 6,000 wood will disappear quickly.
Yeah, things have stalled out over here. I'm actually curious about Magic's wood situation. He's been using a lot of that to make Sipahi. Obviously, some of these Sipahis come in for free, but not all of them.
Can we
Now
check
Stonewall's
the
come to the
military
north.
schools? Because I'm curious if this is like a game where, with you now having trade set up, like you pay for the Jannies and you get the Sipahi for free.
Nah, he's got Jannies queued up in these.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think in a few minutes though, if you keep scaling trade, you could just switch that around, right? And then the Sipahis are the freeloaders. God damn, this attack speed.
That is an unreal amount of DPS coming out of those. Their base attack is so much lower than the hand cannoneers, but that's where it really gets interesting. When the Matter gets sniped by the mass Sprangles of Numudan, suddenly these Janissaries are reduced to just a lackluster unit type.
I love that extra meta. He's like, don't worry, boys, we still got the attack speed. Wait, what do you mean they got like 15 Springles? Oh, God. So that's going to slow it down again. Now, where is Numudan keeps building small groups of Fire Lancers, right? Like, they're now coming to the main. I think he had like 10 to 12 pop left in that south side this whole time. That could be a difference maker, because when Magic's retreating, the Janissaries are grouped, right? And if you get a few splash attacks in, wipe those guys out, they are running from all the way back in Magic's base.
Both players close to pop cap. Army value is still heavily in the favor of Numudan, though, and I think I said this before. Magic, he's been taking some extremely inefficient fights. I don't know how long he can sustain this.
So I think now's a good time to ask you, what did you have for dinner today?
I don't know yet. I haven't even thought about it. I was hoping to have dinner today, but at this point, I'm not even sure if that's gonna happen. Ugh.
No, you get as much food as Magic gets. Okay, so hope you don't go hungry easily, my friend, because we ain't getting out of this game. Yeah, I ate like Numudan today. I'm full. Chicken Kiev, what up? But oh, this this is like the most brain dead assault. I really, I am once again asked if Magic can make a transport ship and go round on the flanks.
Yeah, I feel like it's over now, KP. He's been doing this extremely ineffective thing for the last 15 minutes to no avail. Now, his army is looking very disappointing. 21 Janissaries, 8 Sipahi, not a single Matter out there. Sure, you still have these 2 keeps with the Great Bombards, but at this point, Numudan can start thinking about running past them.
So what you're saying is we've only got 25 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, Bombard's now knocking down the first of the 2 keeps. No repair villagers on the horizon for Magic, and now the Nest of Beaches dish out the punishment on the Janissaries. I think that's it for Magic. Numudan is not going to go down easily here in game number 3.
Magic, what a wild experience it's been for both of them back and forth. I mean, the trade was kind of starting to kick up, but he would have needed an extra 10 to 15 minutes to justify this. Numudan is full thrive mode, and GG is going to get called. We will not see a clean sweep. Numudan strikes back. Says, I think I'm the keep master.
Just the inefficiency all around for Magic. Obviously, it was a rough start for him. He contested both of the pawns, wasn't really able to secure both. Ended up kind of forfeiting one pawn to Numudan. Numudan beats him to Castle Age, gets most of the relics, and after all, it was just a UI issue. Those relics have been garrisoned in Bagadas for quite a while. Those have contributed very heavily. And just the fact that Chinese late game is extremely powerful. Hand Cannoneers, Palace Guards, high quality units, expensive, but Magic was just sending wave after wave of these free units mixed in with some pricey units he also built himself. Ultimately, that inefficiency is just something that overwhelmed him.